History is a popular subject on bookshelves, but we have a tendency to focus on what many historians call the holy trinity of US history. Hey, Cypher here. As the internet and video games begin to gobble up more and more book sales, there's been a real focus on trying to figure out what books really sell. The field of history lives and breathes by the sale of those books. With a diminishing market, historians have to turn towards publishing articles rather than full-scale books. And the problem is, less book sales equals less history. Go to any Barnes & Nobles and you'll see this on every history shelf. There are three particular subjects that comprise the vast majority of books on history. Those three subjects are the American Revolution, the American Civil War, and World War II in general. That includes any of the surrounding stuff, including specifics about like the Founding Fathers or Hitler. Now that's not to say that there isn't plenty of stuff on other subjects, but not nearly as much as what was there 30 or 40 years ago. These three subjects have taken over the sale of books in history, but I don't think I need to really explain how much other history is out there. The problem is, if you want to publish anything on anything other than the Holy Trinity of history, it's very hard to do so. And this is a worse problem than people just not making money. Without publication, less books are available, less knowledge is made, and we're not able to progress as a society in general. Furthermore, historians' careers depend on publications. It's a spiraling problem and we're all affected by it because how the heck do we know who we are without history? I mean, really, how does the field of history evolve if you can only focus on three specific subjects? All is not lost though. Historians actually publish a great deal through articles now, and digital releases are allowing publishers to take the risk of publishing something that are not on the Holy Trinity of US history. But let's not pretend that going digital is the same as actual publication. It's far more powerful to have a physical copy of something rather than some digital edition. And sometimes I read something digitally and I have to go out and get it physically because I like the book so much, and it's worthwhile having the physical copy over the digital copy. So what is so special about the Holy Trinity of US history anyways? Why do we as a nation find the Revolution, Civil War, and World War II so much more compelling than most other subjects? What I think it is that they're the easiest stories to tell. They are the beginning, middle, and end of our history. The genesis, reform, and realization of the American experiment. Most of the books on the Holy Trinity of US history are fairly whitewashed, or demonize only the people who are not Americans. For the Revolution, it's all about brave men facing off against the corrupt British Empire. The Civil War was a tragedy surrounding an irreconcilable difference in culture and economy built into the Union from its start. And World War II was when America stepped up to the world plate and took on the empires of evil. All these kinds of stories are essentially flawed, but Americans are lapping it up anyways. When historians are brave enough to sour the pool of the Holy Trinity of US history, they're ousted immediately. You've all heard people complain about, "That's not my history." Hell, I've read enough of the comments on my videos to know that that's still a very prevalent thing to be said. One historian named Michael Bellacellis was one of these people who were daring enough to attempt to criticize the Holy Trinity. He published a book that definitively showed that gun ownership was not what we thought it was in the Revolution. Now, he did make a major mistake in his tables and tabulations, but that did not derail his thesis in the slightest. But Fox News, the NRA, and other conservative groups hounded his every move. He was basically drummed out of academia because of this onslaught. So no one will take on the Holy Trinity of US history for the foreseeable future. It's a real problem and we only have ourselves to blame. So I'm going to try an experiment just to prove my point. I'm going to do an episode on each of the Holy Trinity in one aspect or another. And I will bet you that those videos will get tremendously more views than this one. So be sure to subscribe to see that, and check out some previous episodes while you're at it. I'll see you next time.